Level 1, the Blue Lantern. You're 15 years old living in a cramped public housing estate in Sham Shui Po. The air is thick with the smell of exhaust fumes and street food. You dropped out of school because the books felt like a weight and the teachers looked through you as if you were already a ghost. You spend your nights in the neon-lit shadows of the arcade or the mahjong parlors. You see the men in the sharp black suits and the heavy gold chains. They don't wait in line. They don't look for work. They are the kings of the concrete. One night a man they call Big Brother Wah approaches you. He sees you standing there with nothing but a cigarette and a hungry look. He asks if you want to earn enough to buy your mother a new TV. You nod. He tells you to stand on the corner of Portland Street. Your job is simple. You are a Blue Lantern. You aren't a member yet. You are on probation. You are a lookout. If you see the blue lights of the police tactical unit, you shout a code word and you run. You stand there for 12 hours in the rain. Your feet ache and your stomach growls, but you don't move. At 4 a.m., Wah returns and hands you $500. That is more than your father makes in 2 days of construction work. You are learning the geography of the underworld. You see who pays for protection and who gets their windows smashed. You see how the girls in the brothels look at the floor when the enforcers walk in. You are a nobody, but you have a purpose now. You are being tested to see if you can keep your mouth shut when the police grab you by the collar and slam you against a brick wall. You say nothing. You are waiting for the day they invite you into the back room of the incense-filled temple. Level 2, the 49er. You're 18 now and you have proven your loyalty. You didn't flinch when the rival gang tried to take your corner, and you didn't talk when the police held you for 48 hours. Big Brother Wah takes you to a hidden shrine in the basement of an old warehouse. The air is heavy with the scent of sandalwood and old paper. There are 36 oaths printed on the wall. You pricked your finger and let the blood drop into a bowl of rice wine. You drank the mixture. You are no longer a Blue Lantern. You are a 49er. You are an official member of the Triad. You have a family that stretches across the globe and a history that goes back hundreds of years. But your status is still low. You are a soldier. Your job is enforcement. A shop owner in Mongkok hasn't paid his monthly cleaning fee in 3 months. He thinks because he moved his shop 2 blocks over that the debt is gone. Wah hands you a heavy telescopic baton and tells you to remind him. You find the man closing up his shop. You don't yell. You don't make a scene. You walk inside and you start with the glass displays. The sound of shattering glass is the only warning he gets. When he tries to stop you, you hit him once in the thigh and once in the ribs. You hear the breath leave his lungs. You tell him the debt is now double because of the inconvenience. You walk out into the crowded street and disappear into the sea of people. You don't feel like a criminal. You feel like a tax collector. This is just business. You get your first tattoo. A small carp on your shoulder. It means you're swimming against the current. You make $3,000 a week now. You buy a motorcycle and you take your girl to the expensive restaurants in Sim Shat Sui. You're rising, but you are still the one who gets his hands dirty. Level 3, the Red Pole. You are 24 and you are no longer just a soldier. You are a 426, a Red Pole. You are the vanguard enforcer for your branch. You have a reputation for being cold and efficient. You don't just collect debts anymore. You manage the violence. You have a crew of 10 younger 49ers who report to you. Your job is to protect the territory. A rival society from across the harbor is trying to move into your drug trade. They are selling low-grade heroin in your nightclubs. This is a declaration of war. You don't wait for a formal meeting. You coordinate a strike. You find out where their main enforcer eats his dinner. You and your crew arrive in 2 black vans. You don't use guns. Guns bring too much heat from the OCGB. You use meat cleavers and pipes. The fight is over in 3 minutes. The street is painted red and the air smells like iron. You leave them there as a message. This plaza belongs to the 14K, and everyone else is just a guest. You are making $10,000 a week. You manage the security for 3 nightclubs and a dozen illegal gambling dens. You have a car with tinted windows and a driver who used to be a Blue Lantern looking up at you. You are a man of respect now. People stand up when you walk into the room. But you are also a target. Every time you start your car, you check the undercarriage for a device. You never sit with your back to the door. You have been stabbed twice and you have a scar that runs from your ear to your collarbone. You are a professional predator, and you know that there is always someone younger and hungrier waiting for you to trip. Level 4. The white paper fan. You are 30 years old and the adrenaline of the street fights is starting to fade. You are smart. You realized early on that the men who live the longest aren't the ones with the biggest muscles, but the ones with the best accountants. You have been promoted to a 415, the white paper fan. You are the strategist. You don't carry a baton anymore. You carry a smartphone and a briefcase. You move the organization's money. You have set up a network of shell companies in the British Virgin Islands and bank accounts in Macau. You take the millions made from narcotics, human trafficking, and extortion, and you make it look like profit from a construction firm or an import-export business. You spend your days in high-end office buildings in Central, wearing suits that cost more than your father's house. You negotiate with the big players. You meet with the heads of legitimate corporations who need problems solved quietly. You bribe the port officials to look the other way when a container of unmanifested goods arrives. You bribe the junior police officers to ensure that raids only happen to your competitors. You're making $50,000 a week. You have a luxury apartment overlooking the harbor. You have a wife and children who think you're a high-level logistics consultant. You keep your two lives separate because you know that if they ever touch the darkness will swallow them whole. You're a ghost in the system. The police know your name, but they can't find a single paper trail that leads to your door. You are powerful, but the stress is a constant hum in the back of your mind. You know that if the money stops flowing, the organization will turn on you. You are the brain of the beast, and the brain is the first thing that gets cut out when things go wrong. Level 5, the straw sandals. You're 36 and you have moved into a diplomatic role. You are a 432. The straw sandals. You are the liaison. Your job is communication and mediation. The triads are not a single monolith. They are a collection of societies that often clash over territory and ego. When a dispute breaks out between the Sun Yi-on and the Wo Xing-wo, it can lead to a bloodbath that shuts down entire districts. This is bad for business. You are the one who goes into the lion's den to negotiate peace. You sit in the back of a dim tea house with men who would kill you if you were anyone else. You use the traditional codes and the formal language of the secret societies. You remind them of the oaths. You find a way to divide the profits so that everyone walks away with a full pocket and no one loses face. You are a politician of the underworld. You also manage the international connections. You fly to Vancouver, San Francisco, and London to coordinate with the overseas branches. You oversee the supply chain of precursor chemicals from the mainland and the distribution of product into the Western markets. You are pulling in $100,000 a week. You are a man of immense influence. You decide which young red poles get promoted and which ones get sidelined. You are the glue that holds the chaos together. But you're also a prisoner of your own rank. You can never truly leave. You know too many secrets. You know where the bodies are buried and which politicians are on the payroll. If you tried to walk away, the organization would have to silence you. You are bound by the blood you drank 20 years ago, and that bond is tighter than any handcuffs. Level 6, the Deputy Mountain Master. You're 45 years old and you have reached the upper echelon. You are the 438, the Deputy Mountain Master. You are the second in command of an entire society. You oversee thousands of members. You don't deal with individual debts or local disputes. You manage the grand strategy. You decide which cities to expand into and which industries to infiltrate next. You are moving into the digital age. You manage a fleet of hackers who run ransomware attacks on international banks. You oversee the illegal online gambling sites that generate millions every hour. You are no longer a criminal in the eyes of the world. You are a philanthropist. You donate to charities and you sit on the boards of hospitals. You have the ear of the highest officials in the government. You tell them which laws will help the economy and which ones will cause unrest. You're making $500,000 a month. You live in a fortified mansion on the Peak with a private security detail of former Special Forces operators. You are a king in all but name, but the throne is made of glass. You spend your nights reviewing reports of internal dissent. You know that the younger generation thinks you have grown soft in your luxury. You know that the Mountain Master is watching you for any sign of betrayal. You have had to order the execution of friends you grew up with because they became a liability. The guilt doesn't keep you awake, but the paranoia does. You trust no one Not your bodyguards, not your mistress, not even your own shadow. You're a master of the world and a slave to your own power. Level 7, the Mountain Master. You are 55 and you have reached the peak. You are the 489, the Mountain Master, the Dragon Head. You are the absolute authority of the society. Your word is the ultimate law. If you nod, someone dies. If you speak, a new market opens. You represent the tradition and the future of the Triad. You sit in a hidden temple deep in the new territories, surrounded by the history of your ancestors. You don't need to carry a weapon or a briefcase. Your power is atmospheric. You manage the global alliance. You meet with the heads of the Yakuza, the Sicilian Mafia, and the Mexican cartels. You divide the world into zones of influence. You are a shadow sovereign. You control the flow of billions of dollars across the planet. You have the power to topple local governments and shift national economies. You are making millions every month, but you have nowhere to spend it. You move between safe houses every 3 days. You don't use electronics. You communicate through handwritten scrolls delivered by trusted messengers. You have had plastic surgery 3 times to stay ahead of Interpol. Your own children haven't seen your real face in a decade. You are a living legend and a dead man walking. You have reached the top of the mountain and you realize there is nothing there but cold air and a steep drop. You are the most powerful man in the underworld, and you are the loneliest man on earth. You're waiting for the inevitable end, because in this life there is no retirement. There is only the hand that reaches out from the dark. Level 8, the Fallen Dragon. It happens on a Tuesday morning in a luxury hotel in Macau. You thought you were safe. You had paid the local police and you had your best men at the door. But the betrayal didn't come from the outside. It came from the man you treated like a son. Your deputy, the one you mentored, has made a deal with the authorities and a rival faction. He wants your throne and he wants your head. The door to your suite is kicked open, not by police but by your own soldiers. You see the look in their eyes. It is the same look you had 35 years ago when you were a red pole. They are hungry. They don't see a legend, they see an obstacle. You don't beg, you don't scream. You stand up and you face them with the dignity of a mountain master. The last thing you see is the flash of a blade. You die in a room filled with gold and silk, far away from the cramped estate where you started. The news reports it as a heart attack or a tragic accident. The government doesn't want a scandal, and the society doesn't want a war. Your funeral is a massive affair with thousands of men in black suits and mountains of white flowers. The politicians give speeches about your contributions to the community, but as soon as the dirt hits the coffin, you are forgotten. Level 9, the cycle of the incense. The organization doesn't miss a beat. Your deputy is promoted to Mountain Master. He takes over your accounts and your connections. He moves into your mansion and he sleeps in your bed. The money keeps flowing and the product keeps moving. The machine is indifferent to the men who run it. Back in Sham Shui Po, a 14-year-old boy is standing outside a video game center. He is bored, and he is poor, and he is invisible. A man in a black Mercedes pulls up to the curb. He rolls down the window and looks at the boy. He sees the hunger in his eyes. He asks him if he wants to make some real money. He tells him to stand on the corner and watch for the blue lights. The boy nods. He thinks he is starting a journey to the top. He doesn't know that he is just a fresh log being thrown into a fire that has been burning for 300 years. He doesn't know that the mountain has no top and the dragon has no heart. He just watches the road and he waits for his chance to be someone. This is the Triad. It isn't a gang. It isn't a business. It is a cycle of blood and incense that never ends. You were the king, and now you're just a ghost story told to the new blue lanterns to make them feel like they belong to something grand. The neon lights of Hong Kong flicker on, and the city moves on without you. The dragon is dead. Long live the dragon,